Hey Otto,
Yeah.
pick a card.
Which one?
Any card. Don't tell
All
me,
right.
and I
Okay.
can't see it. But well, you can't see it either uh, because we're on Skype. But if you think that magic trick couldn't work, wait till you see Now You See Me, where
Oh
no magic
shit!
trick worked. Yeah. Well, spoiler, but whatever. Welcome to the faction. We're gonna be reviewing Now You See Me right now. This
This is
what
gonna
what
be.
yeah. What do we think of this magical movie? Well, I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis of Now You See Me. This is basically we have these four magicians, which in they don't have their very individual special talents. One is Woody Harrelson, and he's a hypnotist. The
Mentalist.
yeah, mentalist slash hypnotist. We have Jesse Eisenberg, who is an illusionist. Yeah, he's an illusionist. We have Isla Fisher, who is an escape artist, and we have Dave Franco, that is practically a
Just
thug
a
that
dude.
uses
Yeah.
that uses magic
The
to
A
escape
noob.
trouble.
He's
apprentice.
just a
They call him
noob.
the apprentice.
Yeah, exactly. He's the apprentice practically. But these four magicians are all brought together with a special purpose, with some mysterious hologram in a room, and then we flash back to years later. They are together and they have a big old show in Las Vegas. And in the middle of their show, they rob a bank, and there's an investigator who has to investigate this robbery, played by what's his name, Hulk, Mark Ruffalo.
Oh,
Yes, yeah, Mark
yeah.
Ruffalo plays this policeman. And then, what is this mystery? Why are these people robbing this bank? What is all behind this? That's basically the synopsis. So, first of all, this movie is extremely entertaining. This movie has some great writing. It moves fast. I was never bored during this movie. And that's something really pretty good I can say about it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, all throughout the movie, it has you at the edge of your seat, and like it's great. If it weren't for the ending, it's everything's spectacular,
Hey,
and
don't skip that. We're talking about
I
good
didn't.
stuff still.
Oh yeah, but you can't. I can't review
But
the
I think
body
I
without the
think
ending.
I think Otto had a different thought on the movie, on this part of the movie, than us. What do you think?
Uh, I mean, it was kind of all right. I wasn't very excited throughout the movie. It was, it
It's
wasn't.
magic.
It was. I used to do magic tricks, not magic tricks, but card tricks. So I figured out pretty easily when they did card tricks. But
So,
now,
so you can relate to the piranha
of
girl.
course, I can. Damn right, I can. Sarcasm. But
There
no,
were I don't I think there was just one card trick actually.
there were like two or three. Not sure. There were a little bit, but I mean, the action was well. There was a part which I can say the camera just moved too much, and I thought and it was like the first major scene, so I thought that's how they were gonna film all the action season. So I was very scared about that, but they didn't end up doing that. So, but I still didn't like it that much. Like it was okay. It was action, just cool.
Well, I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the fast pace of it, the writing. It's a pretty funny movie. I was surprised because the humor was like spot
Actually,
on
yeah,
in a
I
bunch
can
of
say that
parts.
the humor was pretty good.
It was it's very
I was
quick humor.
laughing. I was laughing and nobody else was laughing. Like I was
Yeah, there
watching it
were
and
some jokes.
nobody else was
It's one
laughing.
of
And,
those movies where the jokes are thrown so fast that you might miss them. So you have to be uh
Quick.
yeah, we have to be very quick minded to catch some of the jokes in this movie. But if you catch them, they are really really funny jokes.
oh yeah.
But yeah, this movie it moves pretty good, and most of it is just entertaining, and you're intrigued in what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then the movie starts to go a bit downhill, but it's pretty close to the end where we have this character
It's
for Morgan Freeman, played by Morgan Freeman, who is basically like he's he's a guy who debunks magicians and explains how they do their tricks and how it's not magic. And he's like following these magicians, exposing how they do their tricks and how they pull off these heists. And then the movie starts going a bit dumb when they start explaining how are they doing these things, which start the movie starts not making that much sense when the stuff is explained. So it would have been much better if they would just let those tricks just be and not explain too much, because it just left a bit of holes in the plot. So what do you guys think about that?
I was
Well-
telling my sister to shut up.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'll act like I heard you, and I'll say that the only problem, and it's a really big fucking problem, but the only problem is it's not even close to the end. It is the end. It's like,
yeah, probably.
because it's not even what 7 minutes of
Uh,
of the whole twist.
Kinda, yeah, but we'll leave the twist for later. Well,
I
now
know,
we'll
but that's
talk
the only
about.
You can't
Yeah,
just
yeah, we'll-
fucking leave it out, because that's
No,
what
no.
ruins the
But
whole
let's
movie.
talk about what we thought of it. And I'll start. I'll say I thought the twist was completely just. It's unexplainable. It's just it doesn't make any sense at all with what
It's
the
impossible.
movie-
Okay,
with the
it's
what, yeah, it's
impossible.
impossible with what the movie had been presenting us throughout the whole movie, and it's hard because this movie was so entertaining,
here it comes.
but the whole movie is just
George-
build up.
George is horny again. It's hard.
It's just build up to that moment of the reveal, and when the reveal just doesn't make any sense and is as impossible as this movie presents it, it's hard to watch this movie again and have the same feeling as watching it the first time and enjoy it the same. Even
Yeah,
though it
because
had all these good elements.
you know it's gonna happen, and even though if you enjoyed like the first part, you still
You're
know
not gonna enjoy it as
that
much,
end is gonna happen.
Exactly.
because you're gonna be fixed on something. If you see it again, you're gonna be fixed on thinking on the plot twist and thinking of the character, and it's gonna make even less more sense when you
Yeah,
see
but
it.
George said something right before we actually saw it. He said, I think we were eating, and he said, depends on how you watch this movie, because if you liked the first part of it a lot,
Yeah,
then the plot twist you don't mind about it.
yeah, and,
But
and
if you
I
were like
understand that.
if you were like not liking it so much like throughout the movie, the plot twist is just gonna ruin everything, and it's just gonna go downhill from there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie, but I really enjoyed everything else that came before. But I just found that too impossible and just too dumb to just interpret. And even though I was really enjoying it before, it just undercut everything that came before. Even though, yeah, it's hard.
It's a big fucking deal, and they try to act like it ain't. Like
Yeah, exactly.
it's
They just pass it on like, well, yeah,
well,
it could happen.
shit happens,
No.
Like,
But yeah,
can't happen, motherfucker.
It's pretty complicated to talk about this without actually spoiling
Without
it. So we're just doing. Let's just give a review then.
Okay.
Our brief review. You start, Andy.
Okay, fuck. I'm conflicted because I fucking loved it until that shit. I liked everything. I love Morgan Freeman. All right, he's been on the cover of some of my projects to for college. All right, because he's the shit. And so I don't like talking shit about a movie he did. But well, it's not his movie, so that's why I've let it pass on. So I say, if you don't think about much about analyzing shit on the movies or nothing, then I'll watch it with a 2.5. If you really think a lot about movies and shit, like you analyze, like you want it to be credible, at least non-passable, but fucking credible, then it's a 2.
Otto, you're next.
If you are one of those persons that goes and says, I live movies like my head goes blank and I try to be inside the movie, and it's one of those cases, you won't care about the plot twist really, which is understandable. Then in that case, you would probably give it a 3 or 4, average movie kind of 3.5. But if you're actually like us and we see through the movie and actually don't be like, oh,
if you really
I'm
think
going
about
to a
it,
movie, guys, so that means I have to forget about everything I've learned and common sense. No, we went to that movie, and right as we finished, it was like, no, this movie is just completely wrong. And well, for me at least, that ruined the whole movie. Right as the movie finished, I said one thing, and that was, this movie is shit. I'll give it like a 2.5 because it had good action at the beginning. That's it. And Shoshana was in there. I don't know her name, whatever her name is,
Oh yeah, from
That
Inglourious
being
Basterds.
racist to say her real
French
name.
girl, the French
I
girl
don't know
from
what's her
Inglourious
name.
Basterds.
Okay. She's
The
hot.
owner of the theater. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I have to give credit where credit is due to this movie. It was really funny in some parts. The plot was kept moving. You were intrigued all the time. The chemistry between the 4 main magicians was great. They were just awesome interacting with each other, and you just wanted to see these guys just do cool stuff, cool magic all the way through. But then when that twist is revealed, that is so incredible and so dumb. You really can't see the parts before that the same way because of all the build up. I understand there'll be people that really won't mind that twist too much, and more power to them. They'll enjoy this movie a lot more. But I just don't think I can see the movie again. It doesn't have the same value of watching it again as the first time because you already know that twist and how just badly made it is. So I'll give it a 2.5, giving credit where credit is due, but removing points for just not having that value of watching it again.
You said what, a 2.5?
Yeah, 2.5.
That's pretty much the same score I gave. All right.
We just gave it everything.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's now go
Time
into
for
spoilers.
spoilers
So we
slash
can
rant.
finally rant about what we thought about
Spoilers.
this. So let's just get it out of the way of what the twist was. So
All right.
during the whole movie, Mark Ruffalo is following these guys,
Investigating
all
how
around.
they're
Yeah,
getting the
investigating
money,
how they commit all these crimes and what are they doing, and he constantly messes up. Morgan Freeman is always telling him, "You're just dumb, man. You can't do
This
shit.
is an idiot.
You can't do shit." And he's just taking it, and he just goes around, and he never succeeds. And during this whole movie, he
And
never
they mentioned
succeeds.
in the whole movie how you have to be one step ahead of them, Ruffalo.
Yeah, exactly. And he's always behind. Then at the end of the movie, okay, before let's jump back. When we see them, each of the magicians receive their passes, like to all meet at the same place. We see this man in a hoodie, like from behind, or man or a figure in a hoodie, which is probably foreshadowing who this person who was rallying them all together, who it was. Then at the end, near the end of the movie, we finally get revealed that all along, the one who had put them all together was Mark Ruffalo, because he was the son of a magician that apparently got fucked over by Michael Caine, which is also in the movie. Which is also in the movie playing a banker, by Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman, because he did a magic trick, and the stuff relating to the magic trick actually ended up killing him.
Also, if you don't know who Michael Caine is,
yeah,
we can just say
Alfred
in Batman.
Exactly. Basically, when he was 12, he apparently planned this extremely complex plan to get revenge on Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine, which is extremely complex because what the movie leads you to believe in the end was that everything that happens in the movie has been in Mark Ruffalo's head exactly how it happened.
Exactly. Not just that. Not just that. Think about this.
12-year-old planned that.
Mark Ruffalo, if we actually take his age, he's 45. Okay? He planned this when he was 12. He knew what was going to happen in those, 30-some years and how technology was going to change. Because you know what? Mark, you're a wizard.
Yeah, but because this plan, if you've seen the movie, you know how complex, how detailed everything was. But if you haven't, you have no idea. This movie, it's just too detailed to be planned like probably 20 years ahead of its time.
Especially with all the technology changes that has happened in just 5 years, okay? We went from phones with keys
antennas and shit
to just like phones that now you touch them or you can actually speak to them.
Exactly, because this movie combines like technology with magic and a bunch of other crap. But the thing is, when you see this twist, you start thinking, hold on, then why was Mark Ruffalo fucking up all this time? Was he fucking up on purpose? But his reaction seemed extremely genuine to what was happening. And it was.
Also, can we just say there's one. I don't know about the other ones, but I do remember seeing one of, because they show him in a hoodie throughout like all the performances they had. Can I just say, they showed the one where they steal money from Michael Caine, right?
Yeah.
Like that little
the first
show.
Robbery.
No, not the first robbery.
Oh, like the second one. The one with the checks.
Yeah, the one with the checks. So in that, I do remember that for some reason he is at the door. Okay, he's at the door with the hoodie, and he's in that place. And I'm like, how was he in two places at the same time if he was with Shoshana?
Yeah,
he was at the top.
He was at the last show too with the hoodie on, and I'm like, the French girl was next to you all the time.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, because I didn't even notice. I noticed the one in the last show.
Yeah, the last show also, but I think it was a little more shocking.
Looking at them run, and he was next to the French girl, and he, I don't know, the French girl sneezed, and in that time he could put a hoodie on and look at them, and so the camera can look take that profile pic shot of him. I don't know, and then when she opens
his clothes or something because he was at the same time, the exact same place. Jeez, honestly.
Yeah, but
I don't know. But also, the description of that plan, I'd say, if Albert Einstein or Sherlock Holmes wasn't,
not even Sherlock Holmes could.
Not even Sherlock Holmes, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, fucking Einstein. And Albert Einstein did not become a physicist, mathematician, whatever. All the shit he did, and dedicated his life to magic. I would see this possible. But I don't think Mark Ruffalo.
I doubt it because technology has changed so much, you know.
And we also mentioned, I also mentioned how with Morgan Freeman the movie started going downhill because when Morgan Freeman starts explaining how these guys did all these tricks, he knows a bit too much and too detailed the plans of what they did to know exactly what they did because he starts saying details that he should have been there to actually know what it is, and we're just supposed to think that Morgan Freeman just knows this because he knows this.
Even though there were, even though I think two were a little obvious. Like the first robbery, I could have understood. I did kind of get that they had something in the bottom. It was obvious. So when I saw that, they have something in the bottom.
Starts saying
but he didn't explain where the body actually goes because they squished the body. You know. He never did really explain that. They probably left that out. That's kind of a plot hole, maybe. I don't know. But
I could lay it, pass it a little bit. Morgan Freeman's knowledge, because he's like, because that's like his fucking job to debunk fucking
That's pretty small, but
magic.
then
stuff.
when we see the big old plot twist that makes no sense, it just kind of adds up. So that's
Well,
very
yeah.
I
close to
mean,
my
but it's understandable with also the save, how they had like a huge glass and then they break it, which
Oh yeah,
that was
that's
obvious also. That was a really obvious one.
yeah. They
They,
have and there's a scene where they hide this safe behind the huge mirror, and some police get into this
All
room where
right.
the big mirror is supposed to be placed, and they don't even bother to go inside more into the room to see the reflections in the mirror. No, they just stay at the perfect distance where they wouldn't see the reflections and they would never find the safe. And then
yeah,
No,
they don't even leave a crime scene. So then
they just
the
fucking
the
leave.
Dave Franco
Nobody
just comes.
stays
Yeah,
there.
exactly. They just leave, and Dave Franco just comes back and throws a mallet and breaks the mirror, and the safe is there. Woo!
yeah, but that was obvious. There was a glass there, and I saw it coming.
Yeah, exactly. But
Obviously.
they don't even leave a crime scene.
Yeah, but like I
Even though
understand, I understand all that. Yeah.
that's kind of a
I
small
find
detail.
bullshit on them, the whole robbing the fucking money on the first bank. They hit Morgan
Oh
Freeman
yeah,
is saying, oh, this was predetermined and shit, because they went to Paris, and then in Paris they fucking chose the guy, and they chose this bank, and then they got in a fucking what do you
The
what the
card
fuck
with the
is it
money.
called? A cart. Yeah, thank you. They
oh
get
yeah.
there's a cart with money, and they're inside it. A fucking cart. It's fucking moving. Someone's fucking pushing it. Okay? And they're fucking in there, alright? In like 2 inches. Two people. Okay?
Yeah.
That fucking blew my mind. I don't understand. Who the I don't I don't know, man. I'm still it gives me nightmares, okay? I don't
That
fucking know
when I came out of this
what the
movie,
hell
I was
happened.
just confused as hell. Well, on
I
the
did,
ending, it just left me paralyzed. It gave me a bit of a headache, and I was like, "Why am I thinking so hard on this? It just doesn't make sense."
it just
But
doesn't make sense shit.
one of the things that really shocked me too on this movie that kind of don't make sense to me too much was there's a point at the beginning of this movie you see these four magicians and they're just doing their thing, and you see them, they're extremely careful and how they do their thing, and you see them very decided on what they want and what they want to do. But then there's a point in the movie, like pretty much halfway, where Morgan Freeman tells Mark Ruffalo that, oh, these guys, they don't know who they're working for, and you're like, wait a second,
Yeah, true.
they don't know who they're working for, and they're constantly doing this really complex stuff, risking their lives for an even unknown purpose. Why would they do that? Who would risk their lives doing extremely complex robberies and plans
Okay, after all that.
for even a purpose which they don't even know, which then in the end is going on a magic carousel which takes them to nowhere land,
Can
practically.
we
Yeah.
can we can we
Yeah,
just
that was
end?
kind of
Can we just end with one thing? I would say, which is the stupidest thing. Why did at the end?
Yeah.
Why did they go? What was the big thing that they all risked their lives for? Their lives
I don't
for?
know. It was
they
A
just
joined the
carousel.
eye.
A
They just fucking
carousel.
apparently
joined
A
it was just
carousel.
like a council of something, but they don't even
No,
explain that too well.
it's a
It's kind of
carousel.
vague, and
It's just
they
the
just go
fucking
in.
eye.
Mark Ruffalo just says, "Hey, it was me all along," and they're like, "Oh shit!" And then
Welcome
they
to
just
the eye, and
Carousel.
then
they just
there's a
welcome, and
fucking
they just
carousel,
go
and
to
then
a carousel, and they just spin around, disappear, and
uh,
the
I
end.
don't fucking know, because the Mark Ruffalo gets on the fucking carousel, and then the other guy goes on the fucking carousel, and then the couple grabs
Yeah,
hands.
they
They're
all
not
get in the
couple, but yeah,
they all
yeah,
get
but
in the
they
carousel, and
grab
they
hands like,
disappear.
oh boy, are we really gonna do this? Are we gonna jump on here? Fuck yeah, we are. And they jump on the carousel. I'm like, where the fuck do they think they're going? You know they're gonna land back where they started eventually. That shit goes around. It's not like fucking. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. I
And
don't.
then they just
That
disappear.
baffled my mind. For magicians, that was pretty dumb. Yeah, magicians. Yeah, it makes. Yeah.
But yeah, and that's not even. They're not even going to disappear permanently because we see then like a brief scene in the end with Mark Ruffalo with Shoshana,
Prince.
whatever. They're talking and they're like it's just like a romantic scene where he pretty much explains some stuff of the plot that is supposed to explain it more, but it really doesn't. That's when he says that he's been planning this since he was 12, which
Yeah.
we have to get this straight. If he's been planning it since he's been 12 to get into the police service, go higher ranks
Up the
until
ranks.
he becomes an investigator, rally these 4 magicians into a specific place, give them all this technology, all this money, with apparently police funds, to do all these highly complex crimes, never get captured, and actually get that case assigned to himself to follow his own crime or his own purposes. See, if you're lost, then we're lost too.
Yeah.
And he fought. He didn't fight like punch shit, but he got us pissed at the fucking French girl, cause he thought, or we thought, he thought it was her
Yeah,
who was the
but if
fifth
he knew
horseman.
it was her,
He knew it wasn't her because it wasn't.
He knew, exactly. He knew it was himself. So why would he get mad at her and then actually she would forgive him if she actually then found out? Oh wow, then you just blamed me for your own thing.
Yeah, but he didn't even blame her in public. He just yelled at her and apart from the people. If you betray me and shit, I'm like, it makes sense for him to do that, like in front of the cops to sell his innocence or whatever.
Exactly.
But alone, what the fuck is that shit? Did he know we were watching him?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly. Pretty much, it just felt like something like these guys, the writers, just didn't know how to end this movie, and they just said, "Well, let's just think of something, think of whatever," and they just.
And I kind of get why they didn't end it like Morgan Freeman being the fifth horseman, because then the critics would be like, "Oh, that was fucking expected. He was there all along and shit." But no
they
point.
Just went for, they just went for unpredictability, but not. It doesn't make sense. They just wanted to be unpredictable without any substance.
Yeah. I mean, Morgan Freeman would have been fucking predictable, but make the fucking Interpol girl or something. Not fucking Jesus, man.
Okay, I think we should end our rant right here. End rant.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
So, basically, that was our review for Now You See Me. If you liked it, like it on YouTube, like us on Facebook. What's our pages? To give all our details on our social media, Otto.
Yeah. You can go ahead and leave a like if you really enjoyed. You can also, if you're new around here, you can click the subscribe button down below. You can also, down below, follow us on Twitter at Faction Center and like us on Facebook at Faction Center.
Also, stay tuned for our first episode of Faction Gaming coming soon.
That is true.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'm Peter Jackson, and thanks for joining the Faction.